The Dell Venue 8 Pro is a Windows tablet, initially released in December of 2013. This tablet features an 8-inch 16:10 IPS 1280x800 laminated display. I intentionally point this out as for the devices of its era, laminated displays were not as ubiquitous as they are now. For those that do not know, a laminated display is when the front glass is not separate from the LCD, as in the touchscreen glass and the LCD are fused together as a single piece. The advantage of this is purely aesthetic. Devices that feature laminated displays have displays whose LCDs seem to be at the absolute surface of the touchscreen's glass, making colors and graphics pop. This technology has since become commonplace in all smartphones, tablets, and laptops outside of the absolute low end. More on the display later. The Dell Venue 8 Pro also features an Intel Atom Z3740D, a frugal 4-core 4-thread CPU capable of up to 1.83 GHz turbo frequency. This system on a chip features 2 GB of DDR3 low-power 1333 MHz single-channel RAM, an iGPU derived from the Intel HD 4000, 2 MB of L2 cache, and a TDP of less than 4 watts, reflecting the CPU's intended market segment of mobile devices. Despite being equipped with seemingly anemic processing power on paper, the Dell Venue 8 Pro and its Z3740D perform smoothly and admirably under Windows 8.1. Windows 10 is a different story. Connectivity and storage-wise, the Dell Venue 8 Pro could be configured to have either 32 GB or 64 GB of eMMC internal storage, while storage could be further expanded through the microSD card slot. The device also features a peculiar micro USB-A type socket, which also accepts the commonplace micro USB-B type plug. Many online have complained about this port and have said that it is very easy to break by putting a micro USB-B type cable upside down in by mistake. I have prevented this from occurring by using a micro USB magnetic adapter and cable. Aside from this odd design choice, this micro USB port also accepts USB on-the-go cables, which allows for full-size USB accessories and peripherals to be hooked up to the tablet. The tablet can provide enough power to connect an external hard drive, but peripherals like a USB stick, a gamepad, and mouse and keyboard will work. At the top we can see something that we used to take for granted, a 3.5mm headphone jack. Besides that is a Windows button, which has the same function as the start button on a computer keyboard. This tablet also features a built-in microphone and both front and rear facing cameras, which is enough for a Skype call but not much else. Beside the front camera is an ambient light sensor for automatic brightness adjustment, a feature which in Windows doesn't seem to work well irrespective of which device and/or sensor the feature is used on. Networking-wise, the Dell Venue 8 Pro features a Qualcomm Atheros 6234 wireless module. This is a dual-band 2x2 antenna MIMO solution capable of connecting to Wi-Fi networks of up to the 802.11n networking standard, and also features Bluetooth 4.0 capable connectivity. After heavily undervolting the Z3740D with throttle stop, the Dell Venue 8 Pro is capable of a solid 6 to 7 hours of battery usage when surfing the web in Microsoft Edge with Wi-Fi. Visually, the Dell Venue 8 Pro plays it safe. A rugged back exterior provides ample grip and prevents the tablet from slipping in the hand or on a table. The tablet is thin and small enough that it can often fit entirely into your pocket. Flex is minimal, and the device seems rigid and well constructed, despite its retail price of only $300 US. The front of the device is very clean with its minimalist design, consisting of only the screen and bezel, with no front physical buttons. This gives the device a premium and sophisticated look, even in 2018, whereby almost all premium smartphones have transitioned to a similar buttonless front look. Now that we have familiarized ourselves with the device and its specifications, let's see what it's capable of. First off, we're going to try gaming. Real full-size games that would traditionally be played on desktops and laptops that are several fold faster than that of which the frugal Z3740D is capable of. The Venue 8 Pro will be undervolted to ensure that heat and power consumption is reduced as much as possible, giving the passively cooled Z3740D more thermal headroom to avoid thermal throttling and help stay within TDP limits. The first game we will try is Valve's iconic free-to-play FPS shooter, Team Fortress 2. Running on the CPU-leaning Source engine, Team Fortress 2 is the perfect full-size game to try out on the Dell Venue 8 Pro. Source engine games tend to be light on GPU load and heavier on CPU load, which is advantageous to us as the Z3740D's CPU is comparatively more capable than that of its somewhat weaker GPU. After Steam finishes downloading TF2 to the microSD card, we'll launch it and see how it performs. For our gaming peripherals, we're using a Razer Mamba connected by OTG and a Perix Periduo keyboard and mouse case connected to the tablet through Bluetooth. While Steam downloads Team Fortress 2 in the background, let's play some Runescape and see how that performs. As you can see, loading times are a bit slow, but that is mainly because of the BIOS version I'm on. The Dell Venue 8 Pro's newer BIOSes have many advanced BIOS settings disabled and hidden, but in the older BIOSes there are advanced settings which allow you to significantly increase the throughput and speed of both the internal storage eMMC and the SD card. And there are also plenty of other settings such as a graphics boost option and power management settings. On the latest BIOS these features are disabled. I plan to go back to Windows 8.1 and also downgrade the BIOS so that I can utilize these features and eke out some more performance from this tablet. Leave a comment and let me know if you want to see how this tablet performs on Windows 8.1 and with these BIOS tweaks. Okay, so now that Runescape is loaded up, let's lower the graphics but keep resolution to its native setting. So as you can see, it's actually playing smoothly. If I had to gauge just from playing, I'd say it's probably hovering around 45 to 60 FPS with some random dips here and there, depending on what's going on. I actually think the random dips may be caused by RuneScape being installed on the SD card, due to the previously mentioned SD card speed being severely throttled on this BIOS version. Otherwise we can see that the tablet for the most part handles RuneScape very nicely, and if you wanted to, you could easily and comfortably play RuneScape on the go. Okay, now that Team Fortress 2 is installed, let's give it a go. Now I'm going to skip through the very long loading times, which is again all due to the severely handicapped SD card speed on the BIOS, and it's made even more prominent here with TF2, considering TF2 is a much larger game. When I played TF2 on Windows 8.1 and with the older BIOS with graphics boost and SD card speed hack, it played very fluently. So let's see how it performs here with Windows 10 and the new BIOS with the handicapped SD card speed and graphics boost off. I'm estimating that once everything is loaded up, it should theoretically still play relatively smoothly at low settings and native resolution, but we will likely see many random dips due to the SD card again. Now that we're in game, you can see that yes, indeed, TF2 does play quite smoothly, which is very surprising considering the specifications this tablet packs. There are random dips here and there, but that is to be expected as explained before. You can see in the top right corner of the tablet the FPS. On CTF2 Fort with a full player server, we're getting around 30 to 45 FPS at native resolution. On Windows 8.1 and with BIOS tweaks, this was closer to a minimum of 50 FPS, if I recall correctly. Once again, if you guys are interested in seeing this tablet gaming with all the tweaks, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make a video about it. Currently, whilst TF2 is performing well for this device, it is not a comfortable experience due to the random stuttering and dips. On Windows 8.1 with BIOS tweaks, the experience was good enough that I'd actually enjoy playing on it if I didn't have access to my desktop or laptop, which is quite an achievement for a $300 tablet from 2013, and shows just how capable and forward-thinking this device really was. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about Windows 8.1 versus Windows 10 on this device and my experience with it on other devices as well. People have a tendency to hate on Windows 8.1 a lot, and this stems from the fact that at the time, the majority of people running Windows 8 were running it on their traditional laptops and desktops, whilst only a minority were using Windows 8 on their tablets. This caused a massive backlash for Microsoft, as they forced a tablet-centric user experience on all their devices. With no option of being able to opt out, users were forced to use third-party alternative applications to restore UI elements which should not have been removed from the operating system. Microsoft tried a one UI for all approach and it failed massively. With Windows 10, they shifted focus back to their core demographic of desktop and laptop users, and brought back essential UI elements from Windows 7, such as the Start menu. Despite all of this, the Windows 8.1 experience on a tablet is actually very good. It is very smooth, and in my testing, Windows 8.1 performs noticeably smoother, and even performs slightly faster than Windows 10 on the same machine. Windows 10's UI has a tendency to lag during animations, whether that's on a $2,700 XPS 15 laptop, or an i7 4770 desktop, or a $300 Windows tablet. Windows 8 on the other hand is consistently smoother with its animations and quicker to respond with no unexpected stutters or intermittent freezes here and there around the operating system. This divide between performance is more noticeable on the low end, where the Dell Venue 8 Pro seems to take a full second or two to respond to taps on the keyboard, stutters frequently around the operating system, and just generally feels weirdly unresponsive. a phenomenon which I also experienced to some degree on Windows 10 and on my other devices. The latest builds of Windows 10 have a lot of bloat and cruft, which ruins the user experience even on expensive machines that are magnitudes faster than that of which the Dell Venue 8 Pro is capable of. Even if you compare the first RTM build of Windows 10 to the current latest build of Windows 10, it feels almost like a completely different operating system. The original RTM build of Windows 10 was very fast and fluid, comparable to Windows 8.1 in speed, and lacked the bloat that the new builds of Windows 10 have. In fact, I've even gone as far as to downgrade my desktop and soon my tablet to Windows 8.1 with great results. On my desktop, compared to a clean install of Windows 10, Windows 8 is instantaneous. Windows no longer has random inexplicable pauses around the operating system. Performance even in synthetic benchmarks is a little faster on the same hardware. And for this reason, I will downgrade my Dell Venue 8 Pro back to Windows 8.1. And additionally, my XPS 15 will be downgraded to one of the earliest builds of Windows 10. Windows 8.1 on that machine is not a good idea. Whilst I got it to run on my Kaby Lake XPS 15, the touchpad drivers would only use the generic synaptic drivers, which would ruin touchpad performance. The early RTM builds of Windows 10 are just as fast as Windows 8.1, so for my XPS 15, that should be sufficient. Unfortunately, the Dell Venue 8 Pro has some glitches when operating under Windows 8.1. Occasionally, Wi-Fi will turn off and not turn back on, requiring either a restart or a disable-enable in Device Manager. And one other big issue is that under Windows 8.1, the Dell Venue 8 Pro has battery consumption issues when sleeping. These Atom tablets don't have a traditional full sleep state like our laptops and tablets, but rather an in-between state called connected standby, which allows for the tablet to sync whilst asleep, like a smartphone. Unfortunately, in Windows 8.1, connected standby does not work well on the Z3740D. When just in sleep mode, the battery can drain from 100% to 0% in one day without any usage. You can work around this by turning off Wi-Fi and muting volume, which for some reason drastically reduces the battery drainage and the tablet can actually last an expected amount of time in sleep standby mode. Windows 10 has this figured out. The sleep issues do not exist on the Z3740D or other Bay Trail Atom tablets in Windows 10. However, the Dell Venue 8 Pro still has the same Wi-Fi problems under Windows 10, which leads me to believe this is either a hardware issue or a poor Wi-Fi driver issue. This concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this recap of the Dell Venue 8 Pro. Hit subscribe, click the bell icon, like the video, and leave a comment if you want me to continue doing these types of videos and want to see more. Additionally, leave a comment if you want to see the Dell Venue 8 Pro at its peak with BIOS tweaks in Windows 8.1. Thanks guys, and see you later.